Another gorgeous day in New Orleans. This month, October, is going to go down as the nicest month in the history of the city, weather-wise, huh? It really started in late September. We've had I shouldn't say that. I guess it's been about 3 weeks. It probably started the 1st, 2nd of October. But we have had no rain. I may have to put on the sprinkler. Thank God it's not August or July because everything would be drying out. It is New Orleans, Drew Brees. The summer, the heat and the humidity is gone. We're officially in the non-summer season, and this month is fabulous. We've had about 2.5 straight weeks of this weather, and it looks like we're going to have at least another week and a half, through this weekend into next weekend. No rain, blue skies, sunny as can be, waking up to the low 60s, and then creeping up to what we have right now, the high right now, 78, 79. Absolutely wonderful weather. Beautiful weather in New Orleans, the whole Gulf Coast region. Get outside and enjoy it while we got it. It's that good. It's incredible. It's like air conditioning outside. I'll open up the door to go inside and just leave the door open. Let Tolley out. Let him run in the backyard. And normally I'm shutting the door right away to trap in the air conditioning. Not right now. Just door open, windows open. Fantastic weather. Hey, coming up this Thursday in the 5 o'clock power hour, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan will join us 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, Election Day 2024. 2 weeks from today. Can you believe it? Who are you voting for? Yesterday, we had an undecided voter call in. 15 days out yesterday, still undecided. I'm not undecided. I'm not voting for Trump or Harris. I'm voting for the write-in candidate, a write-in candidate. Yeah, if it was just Trump or Harris, I had no choice. I would vote for Harris, just because political ideology is way overrated. But Donald Trump, to me, is just very caustic. And I get the conservatives out there that don't vote Democrat, don't vote for a liberal ticket ever. I get it. You'd rather vote for the insane psychopath, sociopath, lunatic, narcissistic, egomaniacal freak that is Donald Trump, the friendless Donald Trump. I'm not saying that in a funny way either. I'm just describing the person. I mean, I think you'd have to be in denial to think otherwise. It's not a nice guy, not an affable guy. Not a guy you want your son to grow up and be or your daughter to marry. He's just kind of a jerk. Yeah, I'm the greatest. Only I can get it done. On and on and on. We've seen the show for a decade straight, pretty much. And I don't really look at Harris as someone that's qualified to be president. I don't think she was a very good vice president. I'm pretty consistent on how I think, just because she's the nominee now and there's a lot of momentum and the Democrat ticket is taken off like a rocket ship because, Joe Biden has bailed. I get it. No, I get why liberals are voting for Harris. I get why conservatives are voting for Trump. But to me, the least caustic of the two, I don't think either one is qualified to be president of the United States. And I know you Trump supporters and you Harris supporters don't like me saying that. And I also know in talk radio, it's best to pick a side, especially the conservative side. Talk radio is dominated by conservative talk. One could argue I might have a more successful or popular show if I was doing extreme right-wing radio like the majority of talk radio. That's the popular thing. And I remember Air America, and it had comedians on it that were funny. Garofalo and Al Franken. It was miserable. Just whining and complaining. Nothing funny. Didn't go to their strengths. Just went strictly with politics, and it was hyper-liberal, woke politics, and it lasted about a week. Obviously, it lasted a little longer than that, but it was absolutely terrible. I can't think of too many nationally syndicated shows that have a liberal slant. And the ones that I have heard aren't very entertaining. But then again, I'm not into the conservative shows either. I think WRNO 99.5 FM, if I'm not mistaken, is the number one rated talk station in New Orleans. Does better than the local legacy station, WWL. Isn't that unbelievable? WWL with all their local programming, which is just, no offense if you like it, awful. We're like in a talk radio desert in New Orleans. There's no market like this anywhere. You go to any other market in America, there's multiple talk outlets with multiple viable shows, not like former FM disc jockeys and political types and those kind of things. No, WWL is like almost unlistenable as far as talk radio. They're the local legacy station. They're supposed to win by default. And WRNO doesn't have a single local program on. It's pure syndicated right-wing conservative talk, and they're the number one station in Metro New Orleans. They have more listeners than WWL, which is mind-blowing, more listeners than the legacy station with an AM and FM frequency, and all local shows, basically. But, when you throw out anybody to do a show and they're not maybe prepared, or they don't have the depth or experience or history to do a quality program, whatever the excuse might be. No, you're going to get beat by those conservative type programs. So no, by not picking Trump or Harris is probably a big no-no on my part, but also, I just tell it like it is. I don't fake it. How I am on the program is pretty much how I am in life. Probably don't talk quite as much in real life as I do on this program. Don't have a, sense of urgency on the air each segment like I do in real life. I'm not saying I'm lazy or lame in real life. I just, life is what it is. You don't have to be on all the time. From 4 to 6 o'clock, I've got to be on. In front of the microphone, in front of the camera, I've got to be on. So no, it'd probably be best if I didn't tell you who I'm voting for and things like that. But what kind of talk radio, TV host would I be if I didn't tell you who I'm voting for? That would be utterly ridiculous. Anyway, 2 weeks from today, Election Day 2024, this thing's pretty much up for grabs. It's, which voter bloc, Harris or Trump, shows up in power more? And there's your winner. Because it's pretty much divided almost 50-50 down the middle. Who is expected to win? If you really had to press me on this, I guess I would give a slight edge to Kamala Harris over Donald Trump in 2 weeks, a slight edge. But if Donald Trump wins, I would not be shocked at all. And if he wins, it'll be by a slight edge. It's going to be very similar to Trump, Biden, Trump, Clinton. Very similar. What did Clinton lose to Trump by 70,000 votes? And Trump lost to Biden by like 40,000? It was 3 states totaling about 40,000 votes for Trump's loss. And it was 3 states totaling about 70,000 votes for Hillary Clinton's loss. A couple of these states were like 8, 10, 11,000 votes. Presidential election. Why would that change in this election? So I think it's going to be very, very tight. It is pretty much a toss-up. But if I was forced to pick who I think will win in 2 weeks, I would probably pick Kamala Harris. And it's strictly because of the causticness of Donald Trump. I think there are folks that are kind of apolitical. They may be a registered Democrat or a registered Republican, but they vote either way. They're a registered independent like me. They vote either way. And I think what I originally started saying, like, political ideology is overrated. Political ideology is overrated. Liberals and conservatives don't think it is. The staunch folks that vote that party line every time don't think it's overrated. But generally speaking, I think it is. So I think folks are going to just boil down to who's more palatable. Who is someone who's more reasonable, more rational as a person, not political ideology. Kamala Harris and some of her woke statements, some of her hyper-liberal stuff worries me. The conservative side of me, it worries me a lot. But Donald Trump is just such a narcissistic, egomaniacal, friendless kind of jerk. And I think a lot of people think that way. I think people that are voting for him even think that way. 2 weeks from today, Election Day 2024, who you pulling a lever for? 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you. 766-9480. We're coming right back. Don't move on this beautiful Tuesday. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Did I mention another gorgeous day in New Orleans? And the foreseeable future is the same thing, a rinse and repeat. 60s in the morning, about 77, 78 in the afternoon. Sunny, no rain. Gorgeous. Hey, the Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Maybe you can call in the program and convince some of the undecided listeners, viewers out there why they should vote for Trump or for Harris. 766-9480. Maybe you can let the uninformed or the undecided viewer or listener know the negatives about Trump or Harris. 766-9480. 2 weeks out from Election Day 2024. Hey, let me throw out a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate trivia questions. That's right, 50 big bucks can be yours. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. The largest concert crowd in Caesars Superdome history. Also happened to be the largest indoor concert in the world for like 20 years or so. Maybe longer. It might have been about 30 years it held that record. Largest concert crowd in Caesars Superdome history. Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. The way to dial up the program, Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Miss Peach is fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. Largest amount of tickets sold for one artist or one band at the Caesars Superdome. Largest number of tickets sold for one artist or one band at the Caesars Superdome. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, besides Mississippi, Texas, and Arkansas, our border states, besides the 3 border states, Texas to our west, Arkansas to our north, Mississippi to our east, which state is next closest to Louisiana? Besides Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi, which state is next closest to Louisiana besides Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi? Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks can be yours at the Woodhouse. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. The feds are demanding that the state continue constructing the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project. This is mind-blowing. It's a $3 billion plus project. It's been studied for years. Everybody's involved. Fishermen, oystermen, scientists, those in the, academic field. It's been overstudied. It's a no-brainer. A diversion like, hey, let's create the Mississippi River doing what it originally did, how it built the coast, what the Atchafalaya is doing south of Lafayette this very moment. Building land, pushing sediment into open water, building it up, and then marsh and wetlands come out of it, and land is created. But we have it. This is what it boils down to. We've got a few hundred fishermen and a few hundred oystermen that can't see beyond today. I mean, and it's amazing to me because these fishermen and oystermen have a firsthand look at South Louisiana better than 99% of us. They've seen decade in, decade out, land disappearing into the Gulf of Mexico. Chunks of land floating out into the Gulf. I mean, we know the drill. A football field every 38 minutes. Land loss in Louisiana. They've physically seen it. You can talk to them. My grandfather's land used to be right here. Now it's open water. But they're worried about today's Barataria Bay. And I love hey, there's these dolphins too. They could give a crap about the dolphins. Okay, 9 out of 10 people in Louisiana could give a crap about the dolphins. Forget about fishermen and oystermen. But I love that like green environmental kind of liberal angle, like trying to save the dolphins. No, you're trying to save the fisheries as you know them. And what everybody else knows is we're trying to extend the coast out. All the oysters and fish are going to do is move farther out. That's it. That's all they're going to do. You're going to make Barataria Bay what it used to be decades ago when your grandpappy was there. Fresh water. Then it slowly became brackish and then even saltwater. That's how you have dolphins in Barataria Bay. There weren't dolphins in Barataria Bay 50, 75, 100 years ago. Zero dolphins. Even a city boy knows that. But now you have these oystermen and these fishermen that are opposed to it because it's going to change their lifestyle. And they're going to get money. And they should get money. They should be compensated for a change in their livelihood, how they work. And they're going to get compensated. Yet they're still opposed to this. So typical Louisiana, the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. And the feds are like, hey, it's a $3 billion plus project. Primarily being funded by the BP oil disaster money. We've already got $500 million, $500 million into this project. The amount of money we just poured into the Louisiana Superdome over the last 5 years, renovating the dome, $500 million. No, the feds are smart. Continue the project as planned, as studied, as agreed upon, or pay back $500 million. It really is unbelievable. Now, I'm going to be fair about it. I'm going to get the chairman of the state's coalition, the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, I should say, the state's Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority chair, Gordon Dove, on the program. Surprisingly, he's opposed to the project somewhat. I'm also going to try to get State Representative Joe Ogeron on from Golden Meadow. He seems to be very much for the project going forward. And a nonprofit, the Coalition to Restore Anna, Kim Reimer is the executive director. Going to try to get her on as well. She's very much for the project. I'm for all methods of restoring Louisiana's coast, starting with rebuilding barrier islands, which we're doing, but also not only the ones that are above water, but the barrier islands that are underneath water, that are like a mound that could easily be rebuilt. All you have to do is look at the Arab Emirates and these islands they built out in the ocean where tens of thousands of people live and businesses operate and all of that. And some of that land was built with dredges from Louisiana. Just Google Arab Emirates, the Palm, the World, these islands like out in the middle of the ocean that they've built. No, it can easily be done. We already are rebuilding the barrier islands that are above water, that are disappearing. They're ones that are underwater that used to be there. We could rebuild those and bring them above water again. That's what we should be doing. We should be rebuilding our marsh and wetlands. We should be pumping, dredge material and piping it as far as it needs to go. I've often said that the river bottoms, the water bottoms are part of our state. And the Army Corps of Engineers breaks the law every day. They dredge the river so ships can go up and down it, which they need to do. I'm all for that. But then they just dump the dredge material off the continental shelf out into the Gulf of Mexico. That's our dirt. That's our soil. That's Louisiana land. If we had creative legislators instead of a talk radio TV host that's coming up with this, creative leaders, we'd have a lawsuit against the feds and the Army Corps. The dredge material must be piped into the marsh. We want you to dredge the river. We understand the river needs to be dredged, but you can't just throw the dredge material away off the continental shelf out into the Gulf. All dredge material needs to either be piped from the source to the marsh or put on a barge and floated upriver and piped in somewhere where it's needed. So I'm all for dredging, but it seems like some folks are anti-diversion because It basically changes the way things are today that they're used to. We can't, it's like in New Orleans, we can't pump our way out of the water. We can't dredge our way to coastal restoration. We need every tool in the tool belt. Barrier islands being rebuilt, marsh and wetland restoration, dredging and moving that material to where it's needed, and river diversions, having the river do what it naturally does, like the Atchafalaya, building land as we speak, the Atchafalaya, which, by the way, is about a third, maybe 30, 35% of the Mississippi River. What is that? North of Angola, Morganza, I guess, the Morganza spillway, where 2/3 of the Mississippi goes down the original course through Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and an entire third of it goes into the Atchafalaya River. And that's why that river is a mighty river. It's growing, and it's growing land. 766-9480. Best quality, best price, best selection. I'm talking about Rouse's Markets from Lake Charles to Mobile, Alabama. Over 65 Rouse's Markets. They do 1 million customers each and every week, like you and me. It's New Orleans grocery store. About a third of all Rouse's locations in Metro New Orleans. Tastes like home. There are a few on your way home from work. Make it Rouse's Markets. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Coming right back, New Orleans.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do it all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. Handle your lifestyle with your budget in mind. It's Quick Lane. You got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
I had a nice piece of luggage that I don't know what happened, had it stuck in the closet for like a decade. And this was like a Toomey bag, kind of expensive. I don't even know where I got it. And it had like some mold and mildew in the pockets where it's like, wow, this expensive bag, Toomey, T-U-M-I. It was like a nice nylon bag. I was like, I guess I got to toss it. You know, it's got mold and mildew on it, but not growing mold or mildew, like the dead stuff. So it just stained the bag. I brought it to Young's Dry Cleaning. They took care of it. Their restoration department does that. It's not only like Oriental Persian rugs or drapes or hall runners and that type of stuff, fine linens around the holiday season. No, it's anything fabric, material, or cloth that has water, mold, mildew, smoke damage. Yeah, even smoke damage. Something that you had a fire or something in the kitchen, whatever, and the drapes from the kitchen just smell like smoke or soot and got to get rid of them. No, you don't. Smoke damage, mold, mildew, water damage. Young's Restoration Department, chances are they can get it back to like new conditions, just like this Toomey bag I had. It looks better than ever. It looks brand new. And there was like that dry, dead mold in the pockets, like these two front pockets. They took care of it. Yeah, don't throw away your, nice, delicate, expensive, antique items. Let Young's take a crack at it, their restoration department. Find out more about this New Orleans institution that's only been at it since 1940. 84 plus years of excellence. YoungsDryCleaning.com. YoungsDryCleaning.com. No, I thought this, pretty expensive Toomey bag that I really don't even know how I got it. Might have been like my brother's and he gave it to me or something like that. I found it when I was clearing out a closet. And I was like, oh, look at this awesome bag. And didn't even know I had it. Opened it up like, oh, boy, it's ruined. And it's not. It's like brand new again. Incredible. YoungsDryCleaning.com. Another gorgeous weather day, 2 weeks from today, Election Day 2024, 2 weeks from today, the United States is going to elect a new president. It's either going to be Donald Trump or Kamala Harris taking office in January of next year. And it's a tight race. It's essentially a toss-up. Record numbers of voters are expected in 2 weeks. Just based off of the folks voting right now, the early voting is through the roof. People are pumped up about this race. Voters are coming out in large numbers because of this election. And it's funny, I'm a registered independent. The Kamala Harris supporters, Donald Trump will wreck democracy. The Donald Trump supporters, Kamala Harris will wreck democracy. Elon Musk, this will be the last legitimate election we have if you vote the wrong way. I think a little of that is definitely overblown. I think, like I said earlier, the ideology of the political parties, what they can implement, what they do is a little bit overblown. And I also know this, and it's pretty much a fact, not an opinion. You can just look back on history. Anytime it's all Democrat or anytime it's all Republican for a sustained period of time, there isn't a lot of success there. In my lifetime, the best economies, the time where folks were doing the best, Bill Clinton was president, a Democrat, and Congress was Republican controlled. Or when Ronald Reagan, a Republican, was president and Congress was Democrat controlled. They had to give. Each side had to bend. They had to play the political game, literally. They had to compromise. They couldn't get 100% of what they wanted. Because when Democrats and or Republicans get 100% of what they want all the time over a sustained period of time, it usually equals failure. Now, you staunch liberals and conservatives don't want to believe that. That's why you're staunch conservatives and liberals. You think your ideology is the best. You think the other side has nothing good to offer. There's no need to even work with the other side. There's nothing the other side can put up that's better than what we've already got. That's kind of the thinking. And I think that's flawed thinking. I'm not dogging folks that are conservatives or liberals. I'm just saying those that vote exclusively for the Republican ticket or exclusively for the Democrat ticket, it's sort of a no-win situation. You may like one ideology better than the other. As a registered independent, I think they're equally good and equally bad. And I think the majority of Americans, I mean, you can look at polls lately. Most folks, it's less than 30% consider themselves a Democrat or Republican. And it's over 40% that consider themselves an independent thinker. This leads to the inevitable. I think this 20-year period we're having right now, this partisan politics, the other side sucks, the other side's the enemy, the other side's racist, the other side has nothing to offer. It's our side or bust. I think folks are getting tired of that. Not the folks that are hardcore. They're the squeaky wheels. They're the ones that are always heard. I'm talking about the average American. I think the average American, registered Republican or registered Democrat or libertarian or independent like me, they want to see Republicans and Democrats working together to solve problems. Now, here's the crazy part. As far as conservative liberal ideology, there might be 10 or 20% of it that really is different. On about 75, 80%, it's common sense things that both sides are in total agreement on. There isn't anything political about it. It's just a kind of cut and dried black and white decision that needs to be made. Those things need to be, recognized. Those things need to be like put into a list. And those things need to be, taken care of. No, I honestly think there's a tide building, a momentum building where folks are going to say enough's enough. I want to elect someone that's willing to work with the other side. And I think these folks that are staunch conservatives, staunch liberals that, like I've said, thinks the other side sucks, is worthless, history's not going to look kindly on them. History's going to look back, from the late 90s till today and be like, my God, these folks that were just stuck in the liberal or conservative mode and never budged, part of the problem. 2 weeks from today, Election Day 2024, Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 766-9480. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Outside of our border states, Mississippi, Texas, and Arkansas, which state is next closest to Louisiana? Simple question. Outside of our neighbor to the west, Texas, our neighbor to the east, Mississippi, our neighbor to the north, Arkansas, our neighbor to the south is the Gulf of Mexico. Which state is closest to Louisiana outside of Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi? Which state is closest to Louisiana outside of those three? Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks can be yours at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. I'm looking for the largest concert crowd in Superdome history. The largest number of fans to attend a single concert in Caesars Superdome history. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. Largest amount of tickets sold for one artist or one band at the Caesars Superdome. Largest number of tickets sold for one band, one group, one artist in Caesars Superdome history. Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, the 10 Commandments lawsuit judgment won't be awarded until mid-November, like November awarded. Won't be known, won't be announced until November 15th. Now, if I say the ACLU conservatives going to be like, oh gosh, so liberal. It's actually the civil liberties, Their quote's pretty powerful. The law, the 10 Commandments law in Louisiana, violates the separation of church and state and is blatantly unconstitutional. I totally agree with that. All you got to do is kind of flip sides a little bit.
Stacy and Slidell.
All you have to do is switch sides. If it was some, Quran, Buddhist, Jewish thing, people would be freaking out. Stacy joins us from Slidell on the Rouse's Markets phone lines. What's up, Stacy?
Hey, how you doing, Corey?
Doing well. I'm glad it's a female, but I was going to say, if it's male, I like the female names with men sometimes, like Stacy, Leslie. I think they work with men. But anyway, how you doing, Stacy?
Okay,
Uh-oh, you there? Stacy and Slidell. Stacy and Slidell going once. Going twice. I can't hear her. You hear her fine? Yeah. Stacy, I'm sorry. Oh, there you are.
Yes, dear.
Okay. I'm glad Miss Peaches can hear you.
Look, I was calling to see if the closest state to us being on the East Coast, would it be I want to say Alabama, but something's telling me to say Florida. Can I guess both?
Well, we know Alabama's before Florida, right?
Yes, true, but is it bigger?
Oh, Florida's bigger than Alabama, population, size, all of that. I'm just looking for, outside of the border states, which state is closest?
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Hey, Stacy in Slidell, I apologize. That break train came down the tracks. Almost took you and I out. I had to push you on the other side. I'm looking through the train cars, and I saw you were okay. Thank goodness. So, Stacy, which state is closest to Louisiana besides Mississippi, Texas, and Arkansas? Are you going with Alabama?
Let's go with Alabama.
All right. Alabama is incorrect.
Fine. That was not nice.
you wrong.
6 hours, what seems like.
But, Stacy, because you almost got hit by the break train, and I like your name because it could be used for men or women, I'm going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate anyway.
That's pretty awesome of you.
Yep. Now, if you're in Slidell, there's one about 90 seconds
like
off the I-10. There you go. You off the I-10 and Gauze exit, right?
Yes, exactly.
Is it Lakeshore it's on or something?
They built a bigger one and a nicer one. It's not on the service road anymore. It's right off of it's right behind Slidell Imogen. It's a big building there. It's huge.
Yep. I think, is the street Lakeshore?
No, I don't know what it is. I can't be positive.
Yep. But no, you're right. They moved and it's bigger, nicer, newer. Yep. Stacy, don't go anywhere. Hey, by the way, who are you voting for?
I'm trying to go independent. I'm not happy with anybody.
That sounds like me.
Doesn't sound very nice, and I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be nice. I just feel that we need a change and we need to go in a different direction. So I feel that neither one deserves my vote. I would go independent because I like Jill.
I'm going to probably do the same thing, but it's either going to be Harris or Trump.
Anybody has to beat either one. I mean, I would prefer if they would put a monkey in there. I would vote for them first.
No, I might vote for the monkey or a cinder block or a pile of wood.
You see, we're on the same page here. And I think they would do a better job. And I'm tired of hearing people say about the climate change. We are the problem for the climate change. Don't put money toward it. You can't fix it unless you stop with the vehicles and all of the emissions that we put out into the air ourselves. Stop it. We're the one harming our own planet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for all that. I'd like to get rid of all plastics and internal combustion engines and all that, but technology's never been withheld ever, so we'll only get there when the technology's available.
Hey, I understand that, and we want it. We want it. We desire it, right?
Yeah, no, we're pushing for it. I mean, the whoever invents the next thing is going to be, the rich guy on the block. So all these oil and gas companies, all these automotive companies, they're pushing for the future technology, but it comes when it comes, when there's a breakthrough and there's no way to speed it up, and it's no technology's been withheld. I remember when I was a kid, 200 gallon per gallon carburetors, batteries that last forever, tires that last forever. I was a child going, none of that exists. Exactly. None of that exists.
Today.
If it existed, we'd be using it. It would just be more expensive and you'd have it forever. But so when the technology comes, it'll come. Hey, Stacy, don't go anywhere, all right?
Thanks a lot, sweetheart. You have a wonderful evening.
That's Stacy in Slidell. Just picked up 50 to the Woodhouse with an incorrect answer. Alabama's incorrect.
Yeah, you wrong.
There's a state closer to Louisiana, outside our border states, Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi, that's closer to Louisiana than Alabama, and it's by like 10 miles. 10 or 12 miles. It's very, very close. So Stacy was almost right. Wesley joins us in New Orleans. What you say, Wesley?
I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, I can hear you now.
There you go. You must be on T-Mobile.
This is, I don't know. I have a track phone.
What's going on, Wesley?
Oh, not much. Just finished cleaning my car.
Who you voting for in 2 weeks?
Well, I'm independent, but I'm probably going to vote Trump.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think that he deserves to be in office again.
Huh. No, I hear you. Is there any of it anti-Harris?
No, I just don't think that a woman would be a good fit for the highest office of the land.
Wow. That's a bold statement, Wesley. But there's a friend of mine who makes comments like that, and I just say, yeah, you might want to keep those inside your house. How old are you, Wesley?
I'm 65.
So you're like retired, basically. You don't have to appease a boss or say politically correct things.
Nothing like that.
Now, I totally disagree with you. I'm not into political correctness. I think that statement is insane, but to each his own. You don't think a woman can handle that gig. I'm laughing at you a little bit by that. I don't know. I've had women bosses, men bosses, black, white, gay, straight. None of those things had anything to do with if they were good or bad bosses. But anyway, at least to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, to each his own. All right. What else is on your mind, Wesley?
You wanted to know the closest state to Louisiana?
Yep.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's way up there.
No, it's connected to Texas and next door to Arkansas.
Yep. And guess what? You are correct. By about 8 or 10 miles.
What do we have for her, Johnny?
About 8 or 10 miles closer than Alabama is to Louisiana, Oklahoma. Nice work, Wesley. I would have never got that one. I wouldn't have even been thinking about Oklahoma.
Yeah, I remember seeing a movie about Oklahoma and Texas. They were dividing. It was a dividing line.
Yeah, no, it's really close to northwestern Louisiana. I think it's about 75 miles, 72 miles, something like that. Hey, Wesley, Blue Boys saying excellent job. Hang on. Gonna tighten you up with 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. There's Wesley. Doesn't think a woman can handle that presidential gig. Ouch. 5 o'clock powwow is next. Don't move, Wesley.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family-owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
You right. Yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. It is? I thought it was Metairie. Louisiana. Isn't that what everybody knows nationwide, worldwide? The Mardi Gras celebration, the food, the jazz music. It's Metairie. Oh, wait, it is New Orleans. Miss Peaches is telling me it's New Orleans, not Metairie. Wow. Yeah, you right. Another gorgeous weather day. Boy, is it nice outside. Drop the coals, light up the gas, do some grilling, head to your Rouse's, get some goodies for the grill. Such nice weather. Hey, this Thursday, 5 o'clock power hour, like 48 hours away. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. We're 2 weeks out from Election Day 2024. In 2 weeks, the country will elect a new president. Either Donald Trump, president again, or Kamala Harris, vice president, ascending to the presidential spot. Hey, the feds, speaking of the feds, they're demanding the state continue construction of the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project. We're trying, I think tomorrow might be the day where we're going to get Gordon Dove on, who chairs the state's Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority. And you think he would be definitively for the diversion project, but I believe he is at least lukewarm, if not against that project, as are some Plaquemine Parish folks and a handful of oystermen and fishermen. This thing has been studied and studied and studied. It's a $3 billion plan. It's a no-brainer. Got to divert Mississippi water and sediment into the marshes of South Louisiana, into the bodies of water, to have the Mississippi River doing what it originally did, built South Louisiana. All the sediment that, I mean, we empty what, like 38 states and 2 Canadian provinces? A lot of sediment, a lot of fertilizer. We get these algae blooms out in the Gulf. They're a fish killer. It's a dead zone. You get this algae bloom on top of the water. It sucks up all the oxygen. All the fish go somewhere else or die if they're trapped in that. That fertilizer, that algae bloom flowing into marsh and wetlands. Are you kidding me? Explosive growth. Exactly what we want. So I am definitely pro Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project. I'm for dredging and moving sediment. I'm for rebuilding barrier islands, restoration of marsh and wetlands. I'm for using every tool in the tool belt. And I'm not worried about, oh my God, you're going to wreck the fishing in Barataria Bay or the oyster fishing in Barataria Bay. It's just going to push it farther out. It's going to change your life. And that's why part of the $3 billion is compensation for established oystermen and fishermen. They deserve to be compensated, and they will be. And what I don't get is these oystermen and fishermen who are opposed to this diversion project, they've seen their granddaddy, even their dad's land disappear. It's open water now. And when they were kids, or their dad was kids, there were no dolphins in Barataria Bay because it was fresh water. It wasn't brackish or salt. It was fresh water, like it's supposed to be, like it originally was. Now it's changed, and the oystermen and the fishermen are used to how it is. They want it to remain the same, and the diversion will change it. There's no doubt it's going to make Barataria Bay fresh. In a few minutes, State Representative Joe Ogeron's going to join us. He's out of Golden Meadow. He is pro Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project. He's for it, like me. So we'll get him on in about 10 minutes. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have Gordon Dove, who is the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority chair, the state agency that seems to be opposed to this diversion project now. And I also want to get Kim Reimer on the show. She's with a nonprofit coalition to restore coastal Louisiana. Get her take. As always, any oystermen or fishermen that are opposed to it, we welcome you on the program anytime. Anytime. I want to hear your point of view. I want to listen to your point of view. 766-9480. 766-9480. I have definitive opinions on things, but my opinion can be changed when information is presented to me that I was unaware of or was misinterpreting, or new facts are brought on board. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. We don't screen phone calls. We don't cut people off if we disagree. You're an oysterman or a fisherman that's opposed to the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project, give us a holla, 766-9480. In a few minutes, State Rep Joe Ogeron is going to join us from Golden Meadow. Wow. You don't want to be Rudy Giuliani, and I'm not talking about like hair dye dripping down your face in public. A federal court in Manhattan says Giuliani must turn over all of his valuable possessions, including his Manhattan penthouse, a few dozen watches, expensive watches, like over 2 dozen, a signed Joe DiMaggio jersey, other sports memorabilia, an antique Mercedes-Benz, his TVs, his furniture, his jewelry. It's going to Rudy Freeman and Shay Moss, some Georgia election officials, workers that he defamed. They won a $150 million lawsuit from Rudy Giuliani. It's pretty amazing. No, they legitimately won it in a federal court, and they deserved it. Rudy Giuliani was wrong, and now he's going to pay for it. He has a West Palm Beach condo. The judge is deciding if the Georgia election workers are going to get that too. Giuliani was trying to sell his Manhattan penthouse for $6 million, got no takers. Now these 2 Georgia workers, they're taking it. Pretty amazing. All his valuable possessions, including his Manhattan penthouse, a few dozen expensive watches, a signed Joe DiMaggio jersey and other sports memorabilia, an antique Mercedes-Benz, even his television. Hey, we're taking your flat screen TVs and your furniture and all your jewelry, Rudy. You got to pay the $150 million. Crazy. You don't want to be Rudy Giuliani. It's amazing how he went from turning around Times Square and, 9/11 mayor to just this laughing stock, just this joker. I mean, the hair dye thing definitely didn't help, but he's become kind of loony, kind of crazy. Eccentric would be an understatement. I don't know, getting old and, maybe the mind's fading. I have no idea. But, I don't know. Rudy Giuliani, in my opinion, is getting exactly what he deserves. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, spread the love. Right here on the studio set. If you're watching on TV, on YouTube, got that jar of Blue Plate mayonnaise. If you're listening on the radio, you just have to imagine. I've never purchased any other mayonnaise in my life but Blue Plate. There's never been any other mayonnaise in my refrigerator or pantry in my house ever in my life. I don't think my parents, when I was growing up, it was always Blue Plate mayonnaise. A New Orleans family tradition over 95 years, since 1927. Yeah, if you're a New Orleanian, it's got to be Blue Plate. New Orleans mayonnaise. Blue Plate mayonnaise at your Rouse's and all grocery stores. And places like I'm at Francesca Deli, they got Blue Plate mayonnaise. Quality places have Blue Plate mayonnaise and nothing else. State Representative Joe Ogeron from Golden Meadow joins us next. He's very much for the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project. We'll talk to him about that, plus a constitutional amendment. We'll talk to him about that as well. Tuesday afternoon, another gorgeous weather day in New Orleans. My God, it doesn't get much better than this. Hey, if you wear prescription glasses like I do, Art and Eyes on Magazine, that's the place to go. I wouldn't steer you in the wrong direction, right? If you wear prescription glasses or you need great sunglasses, don't go to the mall store. Go to the exclusive store on Magazine, Art and Eyes. Google them. You go in Art and Eyes, you will purchase a pair of glasses from Art and Eyes on Magazine.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard. on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday. Hey, the 5 o'clock powwow this afternoon brought to you by Leidenheimer Baking Company. Bakers of that wonderful Leidenheimer French bread we love. I mean, they cover the spectrum. You're enjoying a great roast beef po' boy, oyster, fried shrimp. If it's an authentic New Orleans po' boy, it's going to be on Leidenheimer French bread. You're dining at some high-end restaurant in New Orleans. The first thing they bring out, that little mini loaf, piping hot Leidenheimer French bread. Tough to beat Leidenheimer, the official French bread in New Orleans. They've only been baking it since 1896 in New Orleans, since 1896. And now they ship that French bread out from the bakery in New Orleans, exclusively baked in New Orleans. They ship it out to 30 states. They're not subbing it out to some bakery in Ohio. They bake it in New Orleans, bag it and box it in New Orleans, and ship it out to 30 states. Yeah, a lot of the country now enjoying what we've been enjoying our entire lives. Leidenheimer French bread, 5 o'clock powwow this afternoon, brought to you by Leidenheimer Baking Company. Let's head down, what is that, LA1 or the 308? Heading to Golden Meadow. State Representative Joe Ogeron joins us on the program. Joe, how are you this afternoon?
Doing fine. You can hear me all right?
Yeah, got you loud and clear. Thank you for joining us.
Good deal.
Hey, I want to talk about this constitutional amendment where we get to not only get money from oil and gas revenue, but any future energy sources as well. But can we talk about the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project?
We can as well.
Hey,
talk about funding first, so.
Yeah, I mean, the funding's in place. BP oil money, it's about $3 billion project. We've already spent about $500 million, the same amount of money we just poured into the Superdome over the last 5 years, $500 million. I was kind of shocked when Jeff Landry became governor, how he was sort of lukewarm on the project. And then his state chair of the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, Gordon Dove, seems kind of lukewarm on this project. What's your take, Joe, on the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project?
Well, it is called the Cornerstone Project of the Coastal Master Plan. Means it's an important one for my particular district down in Lafourche Parish, where we are the western border of the Barataria Basin, which probably for the last 100 years has been going through a slow process I call the estuarial necrosis. Same thing as if I put a tourniquet on your thigh and we watch your toes turn blue and eventually start the gangrene or something like that. So that's basically what's happening ever since the estuary's been cut off from the Mississippi River. And 20 years of studies, 10 years of permitting, the BP oil spill, we got all the design done, the money's there, and we currently at a standstill because of Plaquemines Parish lawsuit to basically bring this Cornerstone project to reconnect the river to the estuary. It's currently in litigation. So,
and from what I understand,
and to show the importance for that project to be built as designed, as permitted, and as funded, in order to reconnect it and use the operational management. Now, it's going to have 3 gates that can close down to nothing or be opened up wide open. So we got full control of it. So that's kind of my take is that we need to rebuild the marsh in the Barataria Basin, need to reestablish that beautiful incubator, that estuarial incubator for all the post-larval shrimp and redfish eggs and trout and everything else that grows in there or historically has grown in there. And that's why I'm a proponent of trying to get it back on track.
From what I understand, I know the Plaquemine lawsuit still exists, but a judge has ruled the project can move forward. And also the state doesn't need Plaquemine's approval, yet the governor and Gordon Dove feel it's important to have Plaquemine on board on this. I wouldn't say like the entirety of Plaquemine Parish is opposed to it. To me, and correct me if I'm wrong, Representative Ogeron, it seems like it's just a handful of oystermen and fishermen in Plaquemine.
It is. My daytime job, I'm an executive director of a nonprofit called Restore or Retreat. Stands for like, if we don't restore the coast, we're going to have to retreat to the north.
Yep.
And we don't want to do that. We want to continue to live in our communities. And so I got some experience there. And I do believe that it is primarily the highly politically connected oyster fisheries industry that called in favors, and that's matriculated through politics, unfortunately, to put a damper or put what I call a bad change on our coastal restoration master plan. One of the things that's also not said at a lot of these committee meetings is, you'll hear Chairman Dove talk about, but we're doing all these other projects all in this basin and all of that. But what he doesn't say is many of those other projects basically were designed so that the Mid-Barataria Diversion would be actually in action. So it's like a part of a larger system. And to kill that one cornerstone project is just, it's just too big of a hit, I think, to our coastal master plan.
What amazes me, these oystermen and these fishermen, it just seems so short-sighted. They know better than most folks, Joe, that, what used to be land is open water now. They've experienced it, their father's property, their grandfather's property. That, coupled with Barataria Bay was once fresh water. There were no bottlenose dolphin or any kind of saltwater species. It was a freshwater basin. It slowly but surely turned to brackish and salt because of the Mississippi being cut off and the intrusion of the Gulf. So bringing it back to what it used to be, I know it's going to be an inconvenience to the oystermen and the fishermen, but they're going to get compensated. So I really don't understand the short-sightedness of those folks.
Well, there is $378 million of just purely mitigation money set aside for the issues, that economic negations that come from the overall benefit of reconnecting the Mississippi River with that freshwater, sediment-rich freshwater.
Yep.
Because all you got to do is take a ride down to Buras and go on the opposite side of the river and look at Neptune Pass, where you'll see, some of Louisiana's newest land that you could actually walk on, with vegetation popping up and springing up like crazy. So, that's another issue. So basically what we do is that the sediment load in the Mississippi is still pretty high. You could still build land, build marsh. That's one of the detractors that they say is, it's only going to build, 25 square miles or something. It's like, we're not looking for a resort. We're not looking to put a casino out there.
Yep.
We're really looking just for enough dry land for some cypress trees and some willow trees to grow on, to provide the, Golden Meadow, the eastern side of Golden Meadow, the western side of Plaquemines Parish and Lafitte, and all the way up to St. Charles Parish, Bayou Gauche and DeZalman, to give us a little storm surge protection, a little storm surge attenuation is what all of our levees are designed for. Like in Golden Meadow, I got an 18-foot levee on the south end, but it's only like 13 feet on the north end.
Yep.
And that's by design, because they expected the storm surge to be knocked down by all the material in the marsh. Well, I'd have done ripped that up and kind of rolled it up like a carpet for now. So that's really what got me hot about, this project is really needed. We really need to rebuild the marsh. 20 years of waiting is kind of long. And now, as soon as I hear, a lawsuit that's talking about a redesign, no, not whatever Army Corps of Engineers is in play. A redesign really means like a death sentence.
Yep.
You got them. Whenever you got them going in a straight line, you need to keep them in a straight line. No changes, no turns.
You're so right.
Trucking through it. So
you're so right.
I'm a proponent of as designed, as permitted, as budgeted, build it as is, and we'll work out the details of operations later.
No, you got to work with the Corps right now to unblock Neptune Pass. They put a bunch of rocks there, like stopping the growth from that, which is mind-blowing to me.
I mean, it was going open, it was going beyond 125,000 CFS, cubic feet per second. So it was a pretty wide opening, like at least 50% bigger than what mid-Barataria would be. So putting a little choke down on it is, I guess, not all that bad as long as they don't close it up completely. That's what I would say.
We have these algae blooms.
You deal with river pilots and all of that. We talk about navigation, the importance of navigation up and down the Mississippi, keeping a fair bit of water in there.
Yep. We have these algae blooms out in the Gulf because it's just nitrogen fertilizer loaded Mississippi River. What that would do in a diversion is what you're talking about, grow marsh. It would be a plus, not a negative.
Whenever it settles in 40, 50 feet of water in the Gulf of Mexico to the sea bottom, it becomes one nasty thing. But whenever it's on only 2-3 feet of water with all the vegetation in the plant there, it's basically, it's the miracle growth of the marsh.
Yep.
And you can see that in Neptune Pass. It's growing vegetation like crazy.
Yep, no doubt. We're visiting with State Representative Joe Ogeron from Golden Meadow for a few minutes. Hey, Joe, can you hang on a second? We're going to knock out a quick break and come right back.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you very much. State Rep Joe Ogeron's coming right back. I want to talk more about the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project, also a constitutional amendment that we're going to discuss with Joe Ogeron. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm drinking Evermore water, evermore.com. New Orleans' own Evermore. Clearly better water, maybe the best water on earth. Check it out. Check out the website, EVAMOR, evermore.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com. Your cool spot.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Custom window treatment can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at La Barre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mando. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
State Representative Joe Ogeron from Golden Meadow is with us on the program. Hey, Joe, what do you think's going to happen next? I mean, because you have the governor, you have Gordon Dove. They are lukewarm on this project, if not opposed to this project. The feds are saying, build this $3 billion diversion project or pay us back $500 million.
Yeah, I think where we need to go is we need to get the Attorney General, who works for the governor, but we need to get it to a position where we're showing that the efforts to keep the project alive by the CPRA is not being fully utilized right now. That something else is afoot, and we need to get them to fight for the project to get it built. As I said, as designed, permitted, and budgeted, to be able to keep up the obligations that we've got. We spent thus far, and many of the contractors and subcontractors that are working on this.
Yep.
So we don't get basically sued out the wazoo.
Multiple lawsuits. Hey, Joe, Louisiana, it's always seemed to be like the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many, and this seems to be a prime example of that.
Yeah, well, to bark a little louder and make it known that it's unacceptable to inject the politics into this situation, and we need to move forward. We need to, like I said, just keep the pressure on and let them know that it's going to be continuously getting uglier and uglier. There's no good route out down the road that we're currently on. So we need to get it back on track.
Are you optimistic?
I am an optimist. I do hope. I believe that level-headed minds will see the proper path, and we'll get it back on track in time.
I hope so. I mean, you said it best: 10 years of studying, or 20 years, and when the Corps is on board, you got to stick with that because any movement, any change could implode the project. There's no doubt.
That's right.
Hey, this constitutional amendment, tell us about this. It's about future energy sources and the state being guaranteed a percentage of that money, right?
Yeah. The way I would say it is 20 years ago, we passed the dedication so that all oil and gas, explicitly written out, oil and gas revenue derived from the Outer Continental Shelf out in federal waters, as we would get a particular share through the Go Mesa Act, that gets dedicated to the Coastal Protection and Restoration Fund to fund the master plan, which primarily benefits the same communities that basically the people live in who basically support the offshore energy infrastructure, the ports, the dock workers, everybody that works on the boats goes offshore. They all live near the coast for the most part, and it's their homes that need the levees and the barrier islands and the protection. So why not let the coast take care of the coast? And all the amendment does is, as Louisiana moves to the all of the above energy state, it basically doesn't matter what it is that's being produced offshore, in addition to oil and gas, whether it be offshore wind, solar, tidal, current, geothermal, it don't matter. It's basically rewriting the statute so that are getting the people's approval to be able to roll in all of the other energy sources to continue in that dedication. All of those other additional alternative sources, as current outlook looks, it will pretty much, even in their best dreams, amount to about 10, maybe 15% of what we get from oil and gas. So it truly is supplemental at best. But why not continue to let the coast take care of the coast, and any energy or any revenue from any energy derived from offshore that can't be done without the people that work on those boats and those docks, crane operators and everybody else to get that stuff out there. And those communities are the one that benefit from that. And that, whenever 2031 rolls around, that's the last year that we got BP fine money. So 2032 and beyond, we kind of need to kind of start backfilling right now, so that for those years beyond 2031, we need to be able to have something in place to help fund the master plan going forward.
Thank goodness for like Port Fourchon, and a third of all the gas and oil in this country comes through there. I mean, without something like that, if it was just coastal Louisiana and we didn't have the oil and gas, I don't know if we'd even be, having any kind of effort to save the coast. And we're struggling right now to save it.
Right. I mean, not to jump back on mid-Barataria sediment diversion, but in my last email to all my fellow legislators in House and Senate, Natural Resources and Transportation, those are the four committees that CPRA's budget got to go through. I sent them an email pretty much saying, look, man, I really think that my district is basically just a finger of dry land protected by levees that give us that runway, that access to that big port down there that as you said, almost a third of all of our offshore energy comes from.
Yep.
And pretty much 50% of our refining capacity in the United States gets fed through pipelines through that same area. So we need to be able to keep that access way open, which to me means long-term resiliency from our community, which means, those levees have to be resilient and survive. And my levee managers are the ones that tells me, if we're wide open to the Gulf of Mexico, another Ida or something like that, it's not gonna last. We need the marsh to attenuate that storm surge.
Yep.
So the marsh is just as important as the elevation is the salvation to inundation, as Dr. Wendell Curall used to say.
No, and anybody in Metro New Orleans, about 1.2 million in the Metro, due south of the cities, Grand Isle and Port Fourchon. Anybody that cares about New Orleans should be wanting all that built up to knock down that storm surge when a storm rolls in.
Yeah, that's kind of the funding. I know the funding for Mid-Barataria is already set, and it's part of that BP oil spill money.
Yep.
But that and I'm still striving to get that back on track and built as designed. But beyond that, all the other projects, all the subsequent projects that basically work off of that fresh water that created marsh, that the sediment-rich water that flows from the Mississippi into those small little marsh pockets and fills it in and builds up that that vegetation. That's that's long-term sustainability for New Orleans, Marrero, Gretna, all the way down Plaquemines on the west side of Plaquemine and the east side of Lafourche Parish.
Yep.
That's the only way we're going to still be here 50 years from now.
No, you're so right. It's so obvious too. Hey, since this would be a constitutional amendment, does that mean the voters have to approve it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's it will be the only amendment on the November 5th presidential ballot.
Gotcha.
And so that's the only one. And I'm hoping to see a nice, loud and proud yes vote on continuing to support the coast. And hopefully in the year's future, whenever I'm ready to go into the November special session on tax reform. Just basically stop the out-migration from Louisiana and make ourselves, our tax policies, a better place for business to come in. But of course, I'm a little selfish on wanting to maintain that dedication. And I think a good, strong showing on November 5th will hopefully help bolster that dedication for our coast and, to be able to continue to fund the master plan for the second 2/3 of our 50-year plan. We've done about 1/3 so far, but we got a ways left. And, that's the only way that we can continue to maintain a sportsman's paradise, maintain the communities that support the energy infrastructure, and that energy infrastructure supplying the energy security to not only our great state, but our great nation.
So in 2 weeks, vote for your presidential candidate, but vote yes for the constitutional amendment, right?
Vote yes on amendment number 1, November 5th. That's right.
Any final thoughts, Joe?
Thank you for the time there, Corey. It's been a great time to be able to get the word out. I've learned a lot. I enjoy it, and I'll keep fighting for the coast and for my district.
Thank you very much, Joe Rogeron. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a great evening.
You too. That's State Representative Joe Ogeron from Golden Meadow. Yeah, 2 weeks from today, vote yes for Constitutional Amendment 1. So after the BP money, it's 2 points really. After the BP money's gone, we'll have that set funding coming in to kind of fill that void. And also it's about future energy. It's outside of oil and gas, like you said, solar and wind and whatever it might be, that we get a percentage of that. So that's a no-brainer. And yeah, on another note, the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project, talk to your rep. Make sure that gets green lighted, huh? Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto Total Maintenance Studios in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge. You need air conditioning or heat help? Total Maintenance is there. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. Think Total Maintenance, tm-ac.com. Easy to remember. That's their website. New Orleans, Baton Rouge. You need air conditioning or heat help? tm-ac.com. That's Total Maintenance. Yeah, every day we broadcast live on radio, on television, on YouTube from the Buddy Diliberto Total Maintenance Studios. It is a glorious Tuesday afternoon. Tough to beat this weather, New Orleans. Another gorgeous weather day in the Crescent City. We got a lot more to discuss. Don't go anywhere. 5 o'clock power hour on this wonderful weather Tuesday afternoon. Don't move.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
This is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
They don't do roofs, they don't do painting, they don't do siding. All they do is gutters, and they're the best at it. That's why I used Audubon gutters. If you need gutters for your house, why would you go anywhere else? Audubon Gutters has been at it for over 30 years, and it is a family operation. Drew and now his 2 sons are involved. They feature the Leaf Guard system. First off, I wouldn't get on a ladder to clean out my gutters anyway, but I don't have to hire someone or get the funky, hose attachment with the little hook thing to spray out the stuff in my gutters, and then you don't know if you got it all. Now I've got the Leaf Guard system. I've got brand new gutters on my house from Audubon Gutters. Audubon Gutters, the Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company. That's all they do are gutters, nothing else. You need paint or siding or roof work done, hire somebody else. But when you need gutters, go with the best, Audubon Gutters. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon, a gorgeous day. Audubon Gutters installed those gutters about 3 weeks ago. They've yet to be used. Like no water has hit them yet. They haven't been activated. They haven't been utilized. It's kind of amazing. And With this gorgeous weather we've had for like the last 2-3 weeks, go to weather.com or anywhere you get your weather sourced. It's like another week to 10 days of blue skies, no rain sight. Wake up and it's in the 60s, low 60s, and then it peaks out about what we're experiencing right now, 78, 79 degrees, maybe 80, lower humidity, just absolutely gorgeous weather. This is going to go down, I mean, because it's continuing for like another week to 10 days. The entire month of October, it might be the best weather month in the history of this city. Seriously. I'm not exaggerating. It started like the first week in October. We've had about 2 straight weeks of it, and it's another 10 days or so. Just in time for Taylor Swift to come in town. Fox 8, I go to their website every day, and they do a great job, and I'm not dogging them in the least bit. 6 of the 7 top stories were Taylor Swift stories on the website. 6 of the top 7 stories on the Fox 8 website were about Taylor Swift. No, they're going to have 60,000 a show over 3 shows, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Her sets are 3+ hours long. Taylor Swift's going to perform for about 10 hours this weekend in New Orleans at the Superdome, no less. And tickets are insane. Like the crappiest ticket on the secondary market is about $1,000 for the crappiest seat in the dome. I heard a story about a woman who paid about $450 a ticket. She sold them for $6,000 each. She had 6 of them together. So 6 times, call it $500. She's got what, $3,000 invested, and sold them for $36,000. A nice profit of over $30,000, $33,000 profit. And the story continues that the woman is taking her kids to Europe. That seems like a no-brainer, Miss Pete. I could be the biggest Taylor Swift fan. I pay $450 a ticket. I'm going to get $6,000 for that ticket. I'm 86 in that ticket. I'll have a friend just, shoot me some live video or something from the concert. I'll be in Europe. I'll be in Italy. And then we're going to France. And then we're going to Germany. And then we're going to Greece. $36,000, $6,000 a ticket for a ticket that sold for about $450. Unbelievable. It's premium seats, I guess, and 6 together. And some pretty desperados out there that wanted those tickets, huh? Wow. Hey, they're open 7 days a week. They open up at 11 a.m. and they roll straight through the day till 9:30. I'm talking about Lebanon's Cafe, some of the finest Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans. They're on Carrollton Avenue, right by the streetcar barn, in between Claiborne's and the River Bend, where Carrollton Avenue is 1 lane. Under the oak trees, right on the streetcar line. And yes, outdoor dining under the green awning. Today is a perfect day to enjoy some of the finest Middle Eastern food and do it outside. Outdoor dining at Lebanon's Cafe. They're open till 9:30. I was just there on Sunday with my brother and mommy enjoying Lebanon's Cafe. My mom's still probably enjoying it. That she got the lamb chops. It's like 6 lamb chops, a couple of Middle Eastern sides, even a little veggie medley. It's 20-something bucks. She eats about 3 of those lamb chops and brings like 3 home, and she might be nibbling on them tonight for all I know. No, you always get a to-go container from Lebanon's because it's so much food. High quality, fresh, authentic, priced right, because Tulane and Loyola right there, so they're trying to lure in some students. Tough to beat Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. Did I mention outdoor dining? Yeah, I think I did. Did I mention the gorgeous weather in October? I think I did. 2 weeks from today, Election Day 2024, America's going to have a new president in January. We'll decide that in 2 weeks. Already a lot of folks, millions of folks have already voted, early voting, millions. I want to thank State Representative Joe Ogeron for joining us from Golden Meadow to talk about the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project. We're going to get the other side, Gordon Dove, the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority chairman. You think he'd be pro-diversion, but he's at best lukewarm, and one could argue against it, as is the governor. We'll talk with them about it. And also, we'll get a nonprofit, the Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana, Kim Reimer, on the show to discuss it as well. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday. Oh, boy, he's rolling around, Miss Peaches. Look at him. Oh, no, here it comes. He's going to start saying something in a second. I want food and not a kibble. I want steak and lobster. Oh, boy, that's crazy. You're just kidding. The kibble will do fine, but you want to walk in this wonderful weather. I hear you, buddy. You thought Joe Ogeron was good and made some good points. You're right, Blue Boy. You're right. I'll see you tomorrow, Wide Open Wednesday, straight up 4 o'clock right here. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.